Hey guys, today I am reviewing this 2015 Audi TTS. So it is the previous gen vehicle. There is a brand new latest gen out which I have filmed a review of a new TTS on. And I'll admit, coming into this video and the previous TTS review, I've never been the hugest fan of the TT in general. But after driving these two, which have both been modified, I am actually really starting to change my opinion of the car. So we'll start with some basics. Powertrain wise, it has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, a 6-speed dual clutch, not quattro all-wheel drive. They call it quattro, but it's a EddieX system. So as I discussed in the Golf R video, a EddieX system isn't true where you can shift power to the front and back. It's limited. I believe it's up to 50%. So some people don't call it a true quattro, whatever. It still works pretty well. The TTS with the S is a slightly sportier version of the TT, so you get like 265 horsepower from the factory. Now this car has been quite extensively modified. We'll get to those when we talk about power and how it drives and things like that. Let's start with exterior styling. So some people, if you're really familiar with Audi TTs, I personally did not know that initially, but this generation should have ended in 2014. In 2015, they came out with a couple of limited edition. It's one of 500. It's the competition. There were select exterior colors, I think 2 options. This one is the Nimbus Gray Pearl. I think that's the name for it, and it looks really nice. I really like this paint scheme with the alu optic silver accents. You get the TTRS wing in the back. You get the TTRS style wheels. You get yellow cross stitching on this gray leather interior with, they call it baseball stitching, which is the first time I've ever seen it. Look at these seats. It looks really cool and unique. It stands out. So exterior wise, it's a nice looking TTS. Not quite as aggressive as like a TTRS, but it kind of bridges it. I'll admit the TTS has also never been my favorite styling. The wing helps it on this one, but I've always said the TT looks the same way it does coming to you as it does going away from you. It's like symmetric from both sides. Either way, I really think among TTSs, this one looks really nice. If we get to the interior, it's very typical Audi parts. This is a 2015 car, but a lot of the electronics on the interior were not refreshed. For example, my S4 has a much newer MMI system, has a newer center cluster display. This looks like the one that was found in the B8 S4 versus a brand new latest gen car. If you hop in a brand new TTS, then you've got the latest virtual cockpit, which just blows this completely out of the water. But material quality is pretty nice. You got nice leather in places. Typical silver brushed fake aluminum type style trim here that you find in lots of Audis. The cross stitching, the yellow cross stitching really does make the interior feel nicer. And this steering wheel is literally exactly the same as the one that is found in my Audi S4, which I like a lot. It's the perfect size, perfect thickness. I love holding onto it. Flat bottom, feels nice and good. Space-wise on the inside, so these front seats are actually, it's pretty good. I've got plenty of headroom. It feels nice and open, but the back seats are vestigial. Like many cars in this class of sports car, like a Cayman or a Z4, the back seats really aren't there for holding people. I would use them as groceries, but like there's no leg room back there. The hatch, like the trunk in the back, is actually pretty spacious though, so relatively practical. This is the owner's only vehicle as daily driver and his fun sports car. I think the interior for a 2015 is a little bit disappointing because, again, it was a little old. It was a kind of carryover from the generations when this car first launched. So from a technology standpoint and luxury standpoint, I don't think the interior is really that crazy nice, but it's okay. So driving impressions is something we really have to talk about. Now, everything I'm saying and experiencing with this car is not going to be quite representative of a stock Audi TTS. It's not going to really correlate directly to you going to a dealership and picking up a 2014 because this car is quite extensively modded. You have an APR Stage 2 tune, quite many bolt-on parts, intakes. It's got a it's got a Armatrix exhaust in the back, different cats. Either way, this car has been extensively modded to the point where the owner is estimating it's at about 400 horsepower to the crank. APR estimates 370 with their Stage 2 tune, but it's considered like a Stage 2 plus because it's got additional things beyond it. Owner wants to go to Stage 3. So it's a significant step up from 265 from the factory. Out of this little 2-liter 4-cylinder. This Armatrix exhaust system and with the cat coupled together, I was shocked at how good it sounded. Sitting there revving it with the valves open, wow, it was really loud. and just cruising along under load. It makes some good noises. You hear some turbo spool in there. It also like cracks and pops and burbles on overrun. Like, it's a good sounding for a 2-liter. Driving wise, the car definitely feels like small and compact because it is a small and compact vehicle, especially compared to, like, in my mind, S5 is like the first sports car I think about in the R8. It's a compact little sports car. It feels similar to something like a Z4, but not quite as nimble as like a Porsche Cayman. I really, really love the Cayman. I think in this segment, the Cayman has got to be the best. But the Cayman doesn't have all-wheel drive, and if you need all-wheel drive, like in Michigan, if this is your daily driver for all year-round winter, this is what you need. Back to more specifically of this car, a Stage 2 APR tune really wakes it up. This thing gets going. It's pretty quick, coupled with the way that exhaust sounds. It's an exciting experience. The car also has a transmission tune, a TCU tune. So 6-speed dual clutch, which is a good transmission regardless. With the tune, it sharpens up these shifts, and it pulls them off really nicely. The car does ride a little bit towards the harsher side, but that's also correlated to some of the mods that have been done on the car with mounts and bushings and things like that. This car, as an all-around fun-to-drive sports car, I could see it as a very good option. For the value, the price that you can get these as, is it a good value? If you've been an Audi guy, you like Quattro, you like a TT, I personally would be hard-pressed to want to get this versus a S5 or an S4, because I want something with a little more of the luxury and the modern tech in the space. If you just want something to make fast and make cool mods on it, there's a lot of APRs out there. They do a lot of stuff. There's some pretty fast TTs and vehicles of this generation. You share parts of, like, I think the Golf GTI Mark 6. Impressive things can be done. They aren't necessarily cheap. It is an Audi, therefore you will be paying Audi care if you're going through a dealership for maintenance. Parts would be slightly more expensive. Would you get a similar experience in a Volkswagen Golf GTI? Maybe similar performance, but that's front-wheel drive. You get at least a Haldex all-wheel drive in this car. The values on these are down, I believe, into the definitely 30s, maybe somewhere slightly below in the 30s. But this one holds a little bit more specialty because it is a limited edition, 1 of 500. Nice little touches that make it pretty cool. Very nicely modded. I am impressed with this car. I think it's very cool. I would really love to do a comparison between this and the brand new Audi TTS, which is my friend Landon. His car has also been tuned. I think it's APR Stage 2, wrapped it, has an exhaust. It would be really cool to compare the two of them and see the generational differences. I think my final main takeaway is interior, a little bit of a letdown in terms of the technology. The MMI system is old for a 2015. That is a little bit behind, but the yellow stitching with these the baseball style stitching for this special competition package is very nice. I love the steering wheel. It's still acceptable, and it's pretty good. Exterior wise, I like the touches to it. A TT is it looks like an Audi TT. I mean, you don't really see many of them out there. I don't think they are that common of cars. So I guess if you're looking for something that's a little more unique, that's not every guy with a Porsche Cayman, a TTS or TTRS would be a very good option. Driving wise, I think the performance has been really cool. Owner said he wants to track this car. Would love to hear how he feels this car does on the track. Cruising around in these back rows, doing little pulls. It's exciting. It does put a smile on my face, and that's how I like to measure, is a car cool? Does it put a smile on my face? The combination of the sound and the up power of this little 2-liter 4-cylinder and this nimble, small, compact size has put a smile on my face. It's fun. I think this TCU tune is really cool. I want to look into getting one for my car because it really does liven up this transmission. Overall, modified, partial APR Stage 2.5, partial bolt-on Audi TTS, pretty cool. If you have one of these cars, comment below what you've done to your car. If you have any questions, please comment below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.